Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
'Tis the season for all your holiday favorites, like A Very Jonas Christmas Movie and Home Alone on Disney+.
Should I burn down the joint? I don't think so.
Then Hulu has National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
We're all in for a very big Christmas treat.
All of these and more streaming this holiday season. And right now, save big with our special Black Friday offer. Bundle Disney Plus and Hulu for just $4.99 a month for 1 year. Savings compared to current regular monthly price. Ends 12/1. Offer for ad-supported Disney Plus Hulu bundle only. Then $12.99 a month or then current regular monthly price. 18 plus terms apply.
Before we jump in, let's be real. This podcast contains jokes, laughter, and a whole lot of real talk. Yes, we cover serious crimes. Yes, we add a little humor, but never, and I mean never, at the expense of the victims or their families. If you're sensitive, easily offended, or the type to clutch your pearls every time someone laughs during a true crime story, this may not be the podcast for you. But if you like your true crime with a little bit of spice, a lot of honesty, and just enough petty to keep it fun, welcome to Melanin Mysteries, baby. Let's get into it. Welcome, and welcome to all of our new listeners. Hey, y'all. Thank y'all for stopping by Melanin Mysteries. We are so happy to have you over here with the cousins. I hope y'all are ready for a wild ride because, baby, we tell these stories raw, uncut, and with just enough shenanigans to keep your edges lifted. And if you haven't listened to the disclaimer yet, you go ahead and hit that real quick before you come in here acting shocked. And to our returning cousins, hey family, we missed y'all. How was y'all Thanksgiving? Hopefully y'all behave because y'all know folks let us start cutting up during the holidays and end up catching charges at the dinner table. I truly hope nobody had to call 911 over the turkey. Now, besties, let's do a little housekeeping before we get into today's chaos. First up, Season Slayings, a very Black true crime live virtual show, is happening December 13th, 2025. It's featuring us, Melanin Mysteries, along with Melanin Mayhem and Not My Brother's Keeper. And listen, it's all happening right from the comfort of your couch, your job, your sneaky link house, wherever you be at. We got giveaways. We got 3 crazy Christmas cases and all the foolishness you expect from this crew. So the ticket link is in the show note, but spaces are limited, so don't be outside hating because you couldn't get in. Also, merch and ad space and ways to tip your favorite true crime cousins are always available at melaninmysteries.com. And while you're here, go ahead and leave us a 5-star review wherever you're listening. It helps us grow, it helps us reach new cousins, and we appreciate every single one. Now, let's slide into this week's case because it's messy, it's trifling, it's straight up textbook example of hobosexual nightmare. The story of Omar Xavier and Thadeshia Clark. Baby, if I moved him in and instantly regretted it was a crime category, this would be in the Hall of Fame. And speaking of hobosexuals, make sure you're following our social media pages for your official Melanin Mysteries hobosexual alerts and updates because we got to keep y'all staying informed. Now, today we're getting into a case that is full of desperation, deception, and 2 people who should have never had each other's phone numbers, let alone planning anything together. This one is wild, it's dark, and it just goes to hell real quick. So buckle up, cousins, because we're jumping straight into the foolishness. Let's get into it. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your co-host, Willie. Let's do it. All right, here we go, y'all. It was my birthday. I was supposed to be out celebrating, you know what I'm saying? Not worrying, not stressing, not looking over my shoulder. Just a simple night out. Good food, good company, maybe even a little, grown folk fun to end the night the right way. I wasn't asking for much. I just wanted to feel special on my day. So when that message came through, it felt like a sign, like for real, like somebody actually wanted to spend some time with your boy. Live, talk, vibe, whatever happened after that, well, that's between two considered adults. I got dressed, I grabbed my keys and told myself, Howard, go enjoy your damn birthday. But what I didn't know was that I wasn't walking into a date. I was walking into a setup, a trap, a moment that would take me away from my family, my friends, and the life I was just trying to enjoy for one night. All I wanted was a good evening. But instead, I ended up meeting the two people who would decide I wasn't leaving that apartment alive.
All right, cousins, let's get into the moment everybody realized something was wrong. Because this wasn't the kind of situation where folks had to guess. The shift was immediate. So the day was May 29th, 2016. It was Howard's birthday. And Sister Faith calls him early that morning, just trying to be the first one to tell her brother happy birthday. But he was still asleep, so she let him rest, no big deal. So after church, their mother gets him on the phone. Howard sounds normal. He's calm. He tells her he's planning to clean up, chill for the day. And then he's going to go on a date with a woman he met online. He said the chick was from Virginia, right? So, cousins, this was the last time anybody ever heard Howard's voice. And when Howard didn't show up to work, that's when the panic set in. The man was dependable. He did not call off, he did not disappear. So when Faith got that call saying that her brother did not come in, she already knew something was wrong. So she starts calling over and over and over, and she's not getting any answers, no text, no callback. And this silence just felt wrong. So Faith calls their mother, and the moment she hears the words, Howard didn't show up, mom does not hesitate. She knows her son's habits. She knows his routines, and she knew that this was not him. She went
Mm.
straight to the police department to file a missing persons report. So police, they take that information and they start the process. But after a week, there's nothing. No updates, no leads, no movement, just silence. And silence like this can only mean two things. Somebody knows something or somebody done did something.
Amen to that, man. So look, cuzzos, let me tell y'all about Howard because this man wasn't out here bothering the soul, man. Just minding his own black-owned business, right? So he was born on May 29th, 1981 in Italy. I ain't about to say the city because it got too many consonants in it. Yeah, you heard that right. My boy started life overseas.
Vincenza,
Oh, Vincenzo, yeah, whatever it
you
is.
still pronounce it wrong. I literally just broke it down and you still pronounce it. Never
Nigga, you
mind.
said it quit. Don't we not doing that. Don't do
Never
that.
mind.
All right, it's in Italy. All right, he was born in a city in Italy, right? You know what I'm saying? This boy was living life overseas because both his parents, Sonia Amon and Howard Surreal Sr., was in the army and stationed there, right? Now look, ain't a whole lot of public info on his pops, so I'm not going to even pretend like I know if he was around or not. What is clear though is that Howard had two sisters, Kenyatta and Faith, and those three tight. They was tight. They grew up together, stayed close, and later on, Faith and Howard were even sharing an apartment in Georgia. That tells you everything you need to know about the kind of bond they had, right? Because I wouldn't be living with my damn sister. No offense, but we don't have the same habits. I keep it at that. Anyway, Howard was working as a housekeeper at the Van Michael Salon, and everybody who worked with him said the same thing. He gay. I'm joking, all right?
Why would you put that in there? Why would you say that?
Because he worked at a salon. That's what I just figured, right?
First of all, one of my very best hairstylists was a man. He was not gay. His name was Shannon, and he was the truth.
His name
And
was,
the
you said
reason
his name was Shannon?
his name was Shannon. The
Mm.
reason that he worked in a hair salon because he had went to prison and he was like, I can't stand being around men all day.
Okay, so his
So
name was
so
Shannon. He been in prison. He not gay? I'm just making sure I heard you right. But anyway, he showed up. He
what
handled
does that have to do with the
business.
price of tea in China? Don't
Huh?
start. Don't
Oh,
start.
okay. Well, my bad. I was just making observations. So let's get back
There
to
was no
the story.
observation to be made.
Let's get back to the story about Howard. Damn, Tiffany. Anyway, man, Howard just was out there handling business at the salon, didn't give nobody problems, just a solid dude. You know that friend where you can say, yeah, he's good people? That was Howard. See, at the time he went missing, he was 35 years old, African American, 5'3". Damn, he was short. Damn, medium built with a tattoo that said "Rest in Peace, Flossie. And let me tell y'all something else. Howard was impressed about having a car. He actually preferred public transportation, right? The nigga like riding the bus. And honestly, considering Atlanta traffic, I can't even blame him. Now that ain't true. I ain't gonna lie about that, man. You know, our little time that we spend in Atlanta, man, that's the main thing
Right.
I'm talking
That
about.
shit. Yeah, that shit was
Like
that
y'all
traffic
niggas,
jam. I don't
Atlanta
understand.
niggas in Atlanta never go home. Like, nigga, who is out at 2
Why
o'clock?
is there traffic at 10:30 at night? Like, do y'all niggas go home?
These niggas, they never go home. Like, it's just
Like,
these
niggas,
niggas, but these niggas,
shoot, I be
listen,
trying to be at the house. Like,
they
go.
moved to Atlanta just to drive.
I swear, I was so confused. I was like, why is there a traffic jam at 10:30 at night? Like, y'all niggas ain't got no. Why are y'all not in the house?
Atlanta full of scammers, transgenders, and traffic. That's what Atlanta is full of. And all they do is add, not commission. What's that called? To your bill. What's it
Man,
called?
we about to get a check, and it's about to be going just that fast. That's a dang on shame.
What it is,
No.
man? Yeah, what is it called? When
I
it
don't even know because I'm over here tripping because we just got monetized. Now it's about to be down the drain because you over here cutting up. Chichi
Alright,
told me we was
man,
gonna
just
start acting up. She said it too. She was like, yeah. She was like, sis. She was like, I don't know about Willie.
anyway, man, let's get back to Howard. But seriously, the boy kept his routine, right? And that's the crazy part. Like some people, they got a routine. You just know. That's how you know when something ain't right. When you got some people that just got the same routine, and when they go from it, you know something ain't right, right? So you ain't even have to worry about him running wild, disappearing for days, or moving funny. He was steady. He was predictable. Howard was, as Tiffany would say, a good man, Savannah.
A good man.
And that's exactly why everything that happened next hit so hard. Because this was not the type of man who just dipped out on life, work, or
Gratuity.
family.
It's gratuity. That's what it is. I apologize. It's gratuity. Go ahead. My bad.
All right, we don't have time for your Tourette's today. I'm so not in the mood today.
My bad.
Golly. So something clearly took him off his path. So once the missing persons report was filed, police did what they were supposed to do. They circled back to the family. They locked in the timeline and gathered every detail about the last time anybody saw or spoke to Howard. And when his family told them where he worked, investigators headed straight to the Van Michael salon to talk to his co-workers. Now, let me tell y'all something. Howard wasn't just liked at work. He was the MVP, the one who showed up early, stayed late, never took random days off, and never made excuses. He was dependable in a way that made other grown adults feel bad about themselves. And on top of that, he hung out with his coworkers like they were his extended family. So when Howard didn't show up, that wasn't just unusual, it was alarming. So one of the coworkers tells police they had actually planned a little birthday celebration for Howard at the job that day. But Howard was like, we don't need to move that party to Monday instead. So she said she like kind of joked with him, like, ooh, what, you got a date with somebody? And she said like Howard just smirked and laughed. But that was the last time she saw him. And unfortunately, like that was like the last clue anyone had because police didn't have a direction yet. They didn't have no witness, no sightings, no activity on his phone or bank account. So Howard's family got to work themselves. They printed out missing posters. They printed on social media. They were pushing his picture everywhere, begging the community for help, praying somebody had seen him on the bus, at a stop, just anything. But nothing was coming in. No leads, no tips, no confirmed sightings, just silence. And cousins, when a man like Howard, reliable, routine, responsible, suddenly vanishes with no trace, the silence starts to feel like a warning.
Yeah, buddy. So look, cuz buckle up, cuz this is where the whole vibe takes a shift. So it's June 6, 2016, and the man is out walking his good old dog, right? I'm talking a regular, peaceful morning, you know what I'm saying? Probably got his coffee in one hand, a dog in the other. Think about nothing important, you know what I'm saying? And then his dog stops. And you already know when the dog stops and stares at something, it ain't good. Unless he gonna take a shit. Just throwing it out there. So he walks over and boom, not a bag, not some trash, a whole body, cuzzos, a decomposing body at that, wrapped in tarp, like somebody tried to package it up for curbside pickup. He immediately goes to the nearest business like, yeah, someone needs to call 911 right now because what I just saw, I was not built for, right? And honestly, I don't blame him, know what I'm saying? I wouldn't need a moment too, know what I'm saying? Have you ever seen a dead body before? A Tiffany?
I mean, at a
No?
funeral.
I mean, damn, come on. Of course at a funeral. I'm talking about when you just walking down the street and your little light
No, I
skinned ass just
haven't.
happen to see him.
No.
Okay, well,
Mm-mm.
I did, and it's not pretty. So first responders pull up, take one look, and this ain't no maybe they failed. Nah, y'all, this was intentional. The body was clear, had clear burn marks. Somebody actually tried to light this man on fire. And I don't mean a little, let me cover this up moment. I mean, they really thought they were like gonna actually erase a person. They were trying to cremate this nigga, right? They couldn't tell much. The decomposition was already doing what decomposition does. But they could tell the victim was a black man. And then they saw it, a bullet hole clean in the left temple. That's execution energy, right? That's, we're done talking energy. That's not random. That's not panic. That's somebody finishing a job. So they start canvassing the area, trying to, find something, drab, marks, bloods, anything, shells, casing, whatever. They trying to find something, right? And guess what? Nothing. Not a sign of struggle, not a footprint, not a drop of blood, meaning whoever did this, they murdered him somewhere else, wrapped him up, set him on fire, and dumped his ass like he was a problem they needed gone. So, cuzzos, the police literally said this looked like cartel mafia organized hit behavior. And this is in Georgia, not Narcos, Georgia, right? There was no ID on the body intentionally, right? Wallet, gone. Identification, gone. Anything helpful? Nope, gone. So they sent the body straight to the GBI. For you, illiterate son of bitches, it's called the Georgia Bureau of Investigation because they needed an autopsy, fingerprints, DNA, something to tell them who this man was. And all of this happening 1 week after Howard vanished like air. This wasn't a missing person case anymore. This was homicide, a brutal one at that. And a messy one. And the only question now was what? Is this Howard? And who wanted him dead this damn bad? What I do now? Damn. I am just trying. Look, let's get through this.
I'm trying. You are making it so hard today. So now that investigators have this burned, wrapped, execution style body, they're stuck. There's no ID, there's no name, there are no clues. And when you got a case this violent, you need a starting point. So the GBI, they began cross-checking this John Doe against every missing person report in the state. And this is where the universe or the timing or the ancestors stepped in. Because while they're doing their work, the news is airing a segment about a family in Smyrna searching for their missing brother, Howard L. Sewell Jr. Faith and the family are pleading for answers, showing his picture, describing him, begging people to come forward if they've seen anything. And the GBI just so happened to be watching. And the description down to the height, the build, the tattoo matched the body that they had. You could almost feel the air shift because investigators knew what that meant. They might already have Howard. They just needed the science to confirm it. So when they saw the broadcast, they didn't waste any time. They immediately reached out to local law enforcement and basically said, hey, that missing guy y'all just covered on the news, we need to talk. Now, this wasn't official confirmation yet, but it was the first moment where Howard's disappearance and that tarp wrapped body collided. And when those two worlds touch, it's never good news.
Not at all. So when the GBI step in, they move real fast. By June 6, 2016, Howard's on the autopsy table, and the reality of what happened to him finally had a voice. The medical examiner determined that Howard didn't just die. This boy was gunned down, a minimum of 4 gunshot wounds, and each one told the same story, a 9mm handgun. They recovered several projectiles, enough for them to confirm the caliber, but not enough to give them a suspect. No fingerprints, no weapon, no witness, nothing. Whoever did this walked away clean. And the hardest part, Howard had to be identified through dental records. That's not something any family prepares himself for. This wasn't a missing person suddenly walking through the door. This was their worst nightmare being spelled out in black and white. Howard was the only son, the only boy in the family, and the GBI had to go knock on their door and deliver news no parent should ever hear. And what makes it worse is at this point, investigators had nothing, no direction, no motive, no idea who Howard was, where he was last seen, or why somebody would just take him out like that. All they had was a body, a devastated family, and a case that, from it seemed like day one was just ice cold. And here's the part that really breaks, you down if you sit with it too long. Even though the GBI finally knew who they had on the autopsy table, the condition of Howard's body made everything 10 times harder for his family. Because of the fire, because of the time, because of the way he was left, Howard wasn't just gone. His body was in a state that no parent should ever have to see. The decomposition and the charm was so severe that the family couldn't even consider a traditional funeral. They were not, you know what I'm saying? Nah, that's horrible, right? So yeah, there was no preparing them, no viewing, no final moment of peace where the mother could touch his hand and tell her only son goodbye. His mom later said that she couldn't put him in a casket like that, not her baby boy, not the child she carried, raised, and protected all his life. She couldn't let that be anyone's last memory of him. You know what I'm saying? I get it, right? So the family made a decision that no parent should ever have to make. They chose cremation, which I would have did the same thing. Number one, I don't know if I have what it takes to go view my dad's child body. Like if
Mm-mm.
they know for a fact that, you know what I'm saying, they die, like no, well, I'm sorry. If they know for a fact it's them, right? So it's not like, hey, we need you to identify because we don't know, but they know for a fact it's them. And they say, like, yeah, I mean, I'll ask, like, I mean, it's the body. Like, how did the body look? And if they tell me like, oh yeah, it was charred and all that, I couldn't go look.
I don't even do they can they tell you that, or do they just make you come? Because somebody has
N-
to come ID the body.
No, I'm saying if they already know who it is, right? And if they know who it is already, like say for instance, they got a telltale tattoo, right? Like a tattoo that for a fact is the individual. But they tell me that yeah, the body was beaten like real bad or something like that, and you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of swelling, something like that. I don't know if I'll be able to do it. I'll be honest with you. Because that's the last image. You gotta think that'd be the last image that you have of your child. That you know what I'm saying? Like I struggle with the last image I got of my father, let alone my baby boy or my daughters. Oh no. So for me, I don't know if I could do it. So they chose cremation. And Beth believed that wasn't an easy choice. That kind of grief hits in layers. Losing them, not knowing why, not knowing who did it, and then being robbed of the chance to honor him the way they wanted. It leaves a wound that doesn't heal, you know what I'm saying, just because time passes. So now you got a devastated family, a senseless death, an investigator with more questions than answers. Whoever did this just didn't take Howard's life. They stole every piece of closure his family could have had. So, like we said, investigators had nothing, no suspects, no motive, nothing. Howard's family is just out here trying to make sense of the huge loss with absolutely zero answers. They're on social media begging for help. They posted his pictures. They're trying to get his name, knows that out there, you know what I'm saying, alive, just so people can hear it and know it. His sister Faith, who we was so close with, even started a Facebook group called Justice for Howard, originally hoping anybody would help find him when he was still missing. But now they got a body and no justice.
So they're sitting one day, the whole family. I'm not sure if it was right after the funeral or shortly after, but they're gathered, they're grieving, they're just trying to hold each other up. And Faith's phone rings. It's a blocked number. So she answers, and on the other side is a woman. She has a shaky voice. She's nervous, like terrified. She tells Faith that she has some information about what happened to Howard. So automatically, everybody's on alert. Faith puts the phone on speaker and she tells her other sister to start recording because whatever this woman is about to say, they're not risking it getting lost. So the caller explains that she overheard a conversation, something that's been eating at her, and she just can't carry that weight around. She's emotional. And she tells him she has a son and she's pregnant. And if it was her child, she wants somebody to step up too. And then she drops this bomb. Howard was supposed to meet up with a girl the night of his birthday, which they knew. But according to this woman, that girl had a boyfriend, and the plan was never for Howard to meet her at all. It was a setup from the get go. So the caller says, quote, She's a female and she has a boyfriend. And when he got there, her whole plan was to rob him. Instead of letting him do what he was supposed to do with the girl, they set him up and got into a fight, and it went wrong from there. Now, remember, we already know Howard was shot multiple times. So this is lining up way too close for comfort. So Faith is begging for more. Like, who's the girl? What's her name? Who's involved? What does she know? So she's desperate. And this is the first real lead they've had since the autopsy. So like we said, the caller, she's terrified and she keeps saying that she doesn't want to be in the middle of anything. You can hear it. She wants to help, but she's afraid of the consequences. But sis, at this point, you already in it. So Howard's mother, she gets on the phone. She's calm, she's soft, she's gentle. She tells this woman, look, I'm Howard's mom. And she thanks her. She tells her she's very proud of her for coming forward, and she reassures her that she's doing the right thing. And that's when the woman finally opens up and gives the 1, 2, 3. And that's when the woman finally opens up and gives them the part that changes everything. Howard went to an apartment in Cobb County. The man involved, a dude named Chris Hannes. And not only that, the caller says she's a friend of Chris. Baby, let me tell you something. That family was not about to sit on this information for a second, not for a blink. As soon as that call ended, they wrapped that conversation up, saved the recording, grabbed their keys, and marched that evidence right down to the police station. They was like, here, press play and let's go.
I ain't mad at him, man. Smart, man. I'm saying quick. Very good thinking. Good thinking.
Right. So, and once the detectives heard that recording, the whole energy shifted because now they had something solid, a name, Chris Hannes. So investigators, they start digging. And baby, Chris was not hard to find at all. Matter of fact, his name practically came with a punch card for law enforcement because he had already had a criminal history. So they're pulling his file, they're flipping through his background, trying to figure out how his dusty behind is connected to Howard. And here's where things start locking into place. Remember, the family was dealing with Marietta Police Department at this point, and while they're combing through calls and records, detectives find something that makes everybody sit up straight. It was a 911 call from May 30th. It was a real late night, so it's basically like the same night that Howard went missing, late night, early morning. So officers were dispatched to an apartment building because someone reported fireworks or shots fired. And you already know the cops get there, they listen around, and because they couldn't determine what was what, they packed it up and left. But this is part where it gets real convenient because that same night, another call comes in, but this one comes from a hospital. They said a car pulled up with 3 people inside. They're coming up the ramp, and one of them had been shot. Not grazed, not a, oh, my arm hurts, shots. Gunshot wound to the arm and the leg. Non-life threatening, but still, bullets don't lie. And that victim was Omar Savior. And baby, when police started asking questions, pressing them like, so what happened? Who shot you? How did you get here? All 3 of them like suddenly turning to brick walls, like they didn't have a word, a syllable, and not a crumb of information. All the officer could get was the man was shot, and that's it. Just bobs and bullet wounds. And who were these 3 geniuses in that car? Omar, Chris Hannes, and there was a girl with them. Her name was Thadeshia Clark. So now detectives are looking at all of this like, wait, we've got shots fired at the apartment the same night Howard disappeared. We've got a man showing up at the hospital bleeding. And we got this mysterious little trio acting like the state secrets are on the line. Everything, and I mean everything, is starting to stack up around Chris and his little squad.
So let's really talk about what happened here, right? So Chris Hanna wasn't just the driver. Nah, this man was behind the wheel of the most suspicious Uber ride in Cobb County history. And everybody in that car was acting like they rehearsed their lies in the parking lot. The officer are trying to get any kind of content out of them. They're all just sitting there looking like 3 mannequins from the clearance aisle, stiff, silent, and suspicious. Not one of them is offered so much as a misplaced comma, right? So the officer does what a real officer with common sense would do. He steps out to look at the car, and baby, the second he looks through the window, this is it. Not a wallet, not a phone, not a pack of gum. But what they did find, the butt of a whole damn 9mm sitting up there like it was trying to get his attention. And now the Marietta PD is at the hospital. They press Chris like, sir, is this yours? And Chris gives the most convenient, I don't know what gun speech in history. He disowns that weapon like he owes it child support. Damn. Talk about, nah, that ain't mine. You can have it. Real bold for someone who apparently has nothing to do with it, right? So since nobody wants to claim the gun, police take it. They take the car, they bag it up, they tag it. whole thing just go right into property. And here where the trenches part hits different, right? They had all three of them in custody, adjacent proximity, with the gun, with the car on the same night Howard went missing. But, because nobody knew the connection yet, these three walked right out to hospital like they were leaving a late night Waffle House shift. Chris and Thadeshia, I said it right? Thadeshia? Right?
Thadeshia. Like I
The,
even put it in there as exactly how you should pronounce
what's
it.
up? What's up? That's Thadeshia. All right. Chris and Thadeshia, free to go. Omar passed up and released the next day. And now looking back, the investigators are sick because everything they needed, the suspect, the vehicle, the gun, was sitting right in front of them like a damn group project. And the whole three slid through the crust like butter on a hot skillet.
Say hello to the all-new Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do so much more for you. Need tickets to see your favorite artist? Craving your comfort restaurant? Just sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. It learns your style, anticipates what's next, and makes it happen across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
I use Shipt same-day delivery to stay connected with my sister during the holidays. She lives across the country. Shipt has tons of stores to order from. Groceries from Albertsons, crafts from Michael's, even pet supplies from PetSmart. The list goes on. So when we have long-distance movie nights, I turn to Shipt to get face masks, snacks, and everything else we need delivered to her and to me same day. Download the app or visit shipt.com. That's SHIPT.com.
So now the investigators finally had the who and the who. They put the bolo out for Chris, Omar, and Miss Thadeshia because at this point, it's time to round up the trio that slid right through their fingers. But before we get deeper into this mess, we need to properly introduce the young lady who somehow ended up at the center of this chaos. Miss Thadeshia Betty Ann Clark. She was born around 1995 out of Hampton, Virginia, and the folks who knew her said she wasn't wild or reckless. They said she was, she was real smart. A lot of energy, she stayed to herself, and she didn't really move around with big crowds. But you know what they say, it's always the quiet ones in the backgrounds holding the most secrets.
Well, yeah, real quick, let's talk about her name.
I know, I was like,
Thadeshia
Betty
Ann Clark.
That's
How old was her parents?
I don't know. We don't know nothing about our parents.
All right, we're going to give her a young name, but then we're going to give her an old-ass Southern middle name and a white person last name.
I was very confused by that one.
Go
So
ahead.
I'm going through her Facebook. So before they, scrubbed it like a crime scene, we saw that she went to Pulaski High School and she graduated in 2014. But then Facebook hits us with a plot twist. Sis had married on her profile. Like, married to who? Married when? Because the math, it's not mathing.
Not mathing.
So she's 21 during this case, and investigators say she had been living with Chris Hanna for a few years. And a few years would have put her under his roof as a minor. So who was she married to? Was she married to Chris, Omar, somebody else? Like, was it legally buying her, or was it just like an aesthetic for Facebook? Because nothing on her timeline is adding up. But what does check out, Thadeshia moved to Atlanta in 2011. She was taking community college classes. Her career goal, sis wanted to be a mortician.
Damn.
A mortician. Not a CNA, not cosmetology, not early childhood. She wanted to work with dead people. And listen, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying the girl was literally studying the deceased while hanging around folks who clearly had no problem creating. And at the time of all this, she was living with Chris Hanna, the same Chris who magically didn't know a 9mm was chilling in his car in plain view, and the same Chris who walked out of that hospital like it was a routine checkup. So now we've got Thadeshia, who's young and impressionable, wrapped up with these dudes, and right smack in the middle of a situation unfolding like a bad Netflix crime doc with missing episodes. And best believe, Miss Thadeshia Betty Ann is not done being messy. Not even close.
So let's talk about Omar Savior, right? Because this young man background is all over the place before we even get to the crime. According to his Facebook page, he was either from Pittsburgh or Philadelphia. And honestly, that tells you what you need to know right there. His story didn't have any stability in it. Nothing was grounded. Everything about him read like someone who never had a real foundation to stand on. So he was born in 1994, middle name Rashid, and he's a junior, which led me to his father, the senior, and let me be real. One look at his dad and you can see exactly where the confusion, the chaos, and the lack of guidance came from. Those two are identical, not just in looks, but energy. Same face, same vibe, same unresolved mess behind their eyes. See, Omar went to West Mifflin Area High School, class of 2013. He got a sister named Kenya Sanders, but when you go through his main social media, one thing becomes painfully clear. He didn't have nobody, right? Not his dad, not his mom, not extended family, nobody, right? Every post he made sounded like a young man who was spiraling, alone, and just, just trying to survive whatever was going on inside of his head. And then he dropped that long Facebook post on May 19, 2015, and honestly, it read like a man waving a red flag the size of a billboard. He talked about not having a real family, being lost, depressed, angry, disconnected, trying to figure out life on his own. And then he said something that hits you right in the face. And I'll quote, "I can't just go around shooting people because I still be all these things. The only difference is I'll be locked up." Shitting on the nigga was crazy then. That's not a cry for help. That's a warning shot. That's a young man telling the world he's sitting on top of emotional explosives. Then he says, "Most of me don't want to be here anymore because I'm afraid of what I'm going to do. I'm a ticket time bomb. Lock him up." They should lock his ass up right when I would have reported him. I would sent him. I would take a screenshot of that post, send it right to the police department. Do your job. You know what I'm saying? Premeditated asshole. Get him. Because something going to happen. So sometime after that, he moves to Atlanta, either late 2015 or early 2016. But this wasn't a hopeful move. This wasn't a man chasing opportunity or trying to rebuild. He wasn't starting fresh. He was sliding deeper into survivor mode. No job, no family, no home base. He was homeless, literally living in a park. And then that's when he met Thadeshia, right? At that point, she wasn't just another person in his life. She was the only person, the first person who fed him, sheltered him, or even acknowledged him in a real way in a long time. I mean, what do you mean fed him and sheltered him? This nigga a German Shepherd? What the?
May as well have been shit.
Oh, goddamn. And when someone is that isolated and that mentally unstable, they cling hard to the first people who show them any sense of belonging, right? And what, like, what turned you on about a homeless nigga? Like, what turned you on about a homeless nigga that you had to feed and shelter? Jeez. So now you got Omar, lost, angry, depressed, and desperate. You got Chris, older, controlling, already knee deep in criminal activity. And you got Thadeshia, young, impressible, and connected to both of them. This wasn't a friend group, nigga. This was a pressure cooker. 3 unstable people, each with their own issues, feeding into each other's worst impulses. And once investigators figured out who Omar really was, the pieces started coming together way too easily.
Now, before we move forward, let me just briefly touch on Chris Hannons because, baby, he's important to the case, but he's not the main character in this circus. Chris is giving supporting cast, background, extra man standing behind the police take kind of energy. So he was a personal trainer at a local gym, and that's where he met Thadeshia, which already had my eyebrow raised because sis was young, like real young. Like, why are you even talking to this grown ass man at the gym young?
That nigga was like, if she old enough to pee, she old enough for me.
No, like it's giving grooming, it's giving inappropriate, it's giving this shit don't sit right with my spirit at all. It don't. Because she lived with him for years. And the math ain't math and the timeline ain't timeline and everything about it just screams weird. So we gonna put Chris back in the little dusty box he crawled out of and save the rest for later because now we're about to drag the real issue. How Omar and Thadeshia met, okay? And let me tell you something. This right here, this is exactly why we created our Hobosexual News Network, streaming now on all of our social media platforms. Because this was a textbook case, a case study, a warning to the girls. This girl saw this man, this stranger, this park-dwelling drifter, and said, let me help him. That's what she did. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Like, was he sitting on the swing? Was he on the slide with his feet dragging in the dirt? Like, was he lounging at the picnic table like it was a studio apartment? Like, we will never know. But I guarantee you, he had the essentials: the dusty gray sweatpants, the overstuffed Walmart book bag, and the beanie last washed during Obama's first term. And sis walked by like, oh, look, he's so cute. He need a place to stay. Baby, no, he does not. He needs a caseworker. He needs services. He needs guidance, a cot and a clipboard. Girl, not a key to your house. This was not love. This was not connection. This was not fate. This was a hobosexual spotting a fool. Because when a man is homeless, he's living outside. When his only possession is a backpack full of trauma and broken chargers, he immediately becomes dangerously charming to the wrong woman. And sis fell for it.
How? How? I mean, damn. Come on, Thadeshia. It was nothing in you. Your spider senses wasn't tingling when you saw a homeless nigga out there feeding birds and you sat next to him. Talk about, you can live with me. I'll take care of you. Damn.
I'm still very confused. So apparently she got real close to him, like real fast, like lightning fast. Like maybe she sat with him on the swing set every day. I don't know. Maybe they shared a Lunchable. Maybe she let him charge his phone in her house once, and that was all the bonding he needed. But baby, at the time of all this, at the time of Howard's murder, they had known each other for, pull out the drum roll, please, a couple of weeks.
Man, I swear, man. What this nigga, let me tell y'all, women, be careful. Homeless niggas got the best pain,
I don't even want to know because I'm assuming it's dirty. I don't even want to know.
I mean, maybe, hey, look, I ain't trying, look, I'm just saying.
Because when was the last time you took a shower?
I mean, she not, I mean, I would hope she ain't just jumping right on top of it at the damn park. But I mean, at least you take him home, let him wash up, and yes, because he's screwing for survival. He probably he probably put it on that girl. She probably like, man, whatever you want.
First of all, you would have never been able to get close enough to me to put it on me. How about that? That's where.
All right, Tiffany, we know. Okay, all right. You don't pick up niggas that feeding pigeons in the park. We know. Okay, good.
Nobody should. No, why would you?
I mean, I agree. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying.
Okay, then.
No, I agree. Anyway, I agree with you. I'm just saying.
Anyway,
go ahead.
It was not a couple months. It was not a year. It was not even a season. It was just 2 weeks and a dream. And with those credentials, she had the audacity, the nigacity, to go to her roommate, grown-ass Chris, and ask, so you think it'd be okay if Omar come and stay in the apartment? I mean, because he ain't got nowhere to go. Child, listen. Let me tell you something.
I'm like, nigga, both of y'all get the hell on.
That part.
Bring in those straight chats.
That
and
part.
And then you bring in the straight from Atlanta, you don't know what you gonna get.
Like I said, if you ever come home and tell me you invited a man from the park to move in, you and that man gone, out, evicted, blocked, items in the trash bag, you ain't got no security deposit. Because you're not about to have a stranger with a beanie and emotional instability sleeping next to my good air fryer and my new Ninja XL slushy maker, okay? We're not gonna have that. So the fact that this man, Omar, walked into that apartment with nothing but them raggedy gray sweatpants, a backpack, and a prayer tells me everything I need to know. She didn't adopt a boyfriend. She adopted a liability, a walking warning sign, a hobosexual deluxe value meal with no sides and no drink. This was not a romantic connection. This was a survival tactic on his end and a savior complex on hers. And the tragic part, this little decision, this little impulsive moment of I can fix him, sort of a chain of events that would lead straight into murder. Women, you gotta stop thinking you a halfway house. You are not a halfway house. Girl.
You can't be no rest haven for these hoes. Jeez. All right, my bad. So now investigators finally had a clearer picture of how Howard crossed paths with this whole operation. They learned that he didn't just randomly end up near Chris and Thadeshia's apartment. No. He found I'm gonna call her Deja because it's too much. It's too many. No, Deja. He found Deja through a personal ad. He was on back pages. You know what I'm saying? Remember? I hope y'all remember. Anyway, and once he
I
connected with her,
just heard about Backpage. I ain't never been on there. No, I'm not about to.
man, it was some nasty, man. There's a heathenness going on. Anyway, and once he connected with her, Howard arranged for a cab to pick him up and take him to Roswell Road, right near the same apartment where Chris and Deja were staying. The phone records don't lie. The very last call Howard ever made was to the cab company. That's what put him exactly where these three wanted him. So at this point, detectives aren't guessing anymore. They know where Howard went, and they know who he wanted to meet, and they know exactly what apartment they need to hit. They get a warrant, and Marietta SWAT gets involved, and when SWAT shows up, it's go time, baby. They hit that apartment like they were expecting a shootout. Doors coming off hinges, flashlights everywhere. Commands being shouted, the whole movie scene. They ready to drag all three of them out in cuffs. But when they get inside, nigga, the place is empty. And I don't mean they moved out. I mean empty, right? No couch, no bed, no TV, no lamps, no silverware, not even a damn milk crate. These people cleaned that apartment out like they were auditioning for a Stream Makeover Fugitive edition. So SWAT said every room smelled like straight bleach and industrial cleaner. Whole apartment smelled like someone tried to baptize the crime scene. But don't let the empty room fool you, right? Because the bullets told the real story. They found projectiles in the wall, shell casings on the floor, and every single one was a 9mm handgun. Remember, that's the same caliber that killed Howard. The same caliber that Chris disowned in the backseat of that, you know what I'm saying, hospital car. Remember that? But the worst part, the part that told them exactly where the real violence happened, was one piece of furniture they didn't manage to haul out in time, a piano bench. Now, you don't think a piano bench had nothing, a random seat, something you overlooked, but when they open it, blood. Not a little bit, not a stain, not a smear, pool, soaked, dripping, dried thick inside the wood. Enough blood to tell investigators somebody was hurt bad and right there at that bench. They took swabs, sent them off for testing, and the DNA came back at Howard's. So now detectives aren't working with theories anymore. There wasn't a robbery gone wrong. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't a fight that escalated. They were standing in the place where Howard was shot, bled out, and never got up again. And the people who did it, they had packed up, bleached the whole apartment, erased everything they could, and vanished in thin air. So at this point, investigators are basically stuck. They got the apartment, they got the blood, they got the shell cases, but the people responsible, gone, completely vanished. And it stays that way until June 15, 2016. That's when they catch a break. A ridiculous, backwards, you cannot make this up kind of break. Because guess who's already sitting in jail? Omar. Yes, the same Omar that wandered into Atlanta with a backpack, trauma, and no plan. He'd been arrested on a assault charge, right? And you know, detectives were hyped. They were like, oh, cool, big bat. Let's go ahead and talk to him while, you know what I'm saying, we got him in the jumpsuit. So they head down to the jail thinking this man might finally give up some information. And the second they sit down with him, he shuts down completely. They said Omar wasn't just uncooperative. They said he came in the interview room with an attitude. You know what I'm saying? I guess it was bothering him. Like, you know, he was the one being inconvenienced. Like, sir, you're already in jail. This is not the time to act brand new. He denied knowing anything about Howard, denied being involved. He denied even being aware of what they were talking about. He hit them with the most tired line in the book. I don't know nothing. I just want to go back to my cell. And then he tells them he wants an attorney, right? And listen, everybody got rights. But coming from him, this man was literally bleeding in the hospital on the same night Howard disappeared. The man who was last seen with the same people detectives are looking for. The man whose social media reads like a 911 call in a paragraph form. Like, yeah, that I don't know nothing routine. Nah, detectives weren't buying it, not one bit. But because he invoked his lawyer, That's it. Interview over, conversation dead. They could not push any further. All they could do was watch him get escorted right back to the cell, sitting there looking smug and useless, while two people he was running with, Chris and Thadeshia, were still out in the wind. So once again, detectives had a piece of the puzzle, but not the full picture. And the one person who, had access to it, the one person, could have cracked everything open, shut down like Wi-Fi when the bill ain't getting paid. That nigga, like, I ain't saying nothing.
I just don't like how you changed her name because that's not her name, but whatever.
But it's going to be her name today.
So let's fast forward to June 17th, 2016, because, baby, the streets were talking and the universe said, we going to help these detectives real quick. Because Chris Hanna, Mr. I don't know whose gun that is, Mr. I live with an underage girl for years, but I swear it's normal, Mr. I'm a personal trainer, but also possibly the creepiest man in Cobb County. Yeah, he got picked up on a pandering charge. So not assault, not drugs, not a traffic violation, pandering. Meaning you out here begging or facilitating begging or trying to be a discount sugar daddy with no sugar and no daddy. However you want to play it. So you done fled your apartment, you have no job, no furniture, no dignity, and now you out in the streets begging. Oh, it's embarrassing. Secondhand embarrassment, thirdhand embarrassment passed down through generations. So police wrap him up, bring him in, they sit him down, and they look him in the eyes like, you ready to talk? And when I say that man started singing, like soprano, falsetto, gospel choir with vibrato, he is snitching with a harmony, okay? He starts giving detectives everything, names, dates, how they met, who stayed where, what time they ate breakfast. The man is giving behind the scenes DVD commentary. So he tells them that him and Thadeshia were friends / roommates for years. I use quotations there because y'all know. Because friends, roommate. Okay, I think the way y'all spell predator at the PTA meeting, that's what he really meant to say. So we're going to read the top line. And then he confirms that Omar just came into the picture a few weeks earlier. Like we said, a few weeks. Because listen, if I meet somebody today and they ask to move in tomorrow, blocked. If I meet someone today and they ask to borrow a frying pan, you're still blocked. So he tells police that she met Omar at the park. Again, no surprise there. She asked if this fully grown stray could move in. And then he said that Omar and Thadeshia developed this, quote, unbreakable bond. Unbreakable bond? So they met at the swings. So he says Omar, quote, protected her and took care of her, and then they fell in love. In 2 weeks?
I mean, it can happen. I mean, that's that homeless. No, I don't know, maybe.
That is not love. That's trauma bonding mixed with homosexual survival tactics, okay? Because, one of the stages they start love bombing. When I did the forecast, it was a strong winds of love bombing. Yes, that's exactly what that is. So the detectives asked him about the night of May 30th, and this is where the lies start pouring out like cheap tequila. Chris was like, look, I had went out, I had got drunk. I was actually white girl wasted, and then I came home and I passed out. So according to him, he had no idea what happened. He said he just so happened to wake up to gunshots, like bang, bang, bang. And Omar busts into the room screaming, oh my God, she shot me, take me to the hospital. He like, what, huh, what, who is she, who shot who? Why is everybody bleeding and yelling? Where am I? And why does this apartment smell like pine sol and fear? So Chris claims he was so drunk, like he could barely stand up. And he tells Omar, like, just give me a minute, like, he's asking for some time to microwave some leftovers, not respond to a gunshot wound. So eventually he gets up, he drives Omar and Thadeshia to the hospital, he drops them off. And this is where he says, like, when they got home, there was a dead man in his back room, just laying there, like, this is a bad Craigslist rental gone left. He claimed he didn't know who it was, but he just assumed that Thadeshia killed them. And he said she made comments that, quote, suggested she did. Sir, stop the madness. So you mean to tell me that you've lived with this girl, she brings a homeless man home, she's attached to him in 2 weeks, there's bullets in your walls, a dead man in your back room, a pool of blood the size of Lake Michigan in your piano bench, and your response is, well, I assume she did it. No. Absolutely not. No.
Mhm.
Like, this story is about to twist harder than her jailhouse ginger cornrows that are holding on by prayers and commissary ramen seasoning. Sis, I know she got the little crochet ginger braids in jail right now because you can see it just puffed up, frizzling, probably hanging on by a bread tie she got from lunch. It just giving, please release me. So we're about to whip this plot like laundry on wash day because this is where everything just starts to unravel.
So listen, at this point in the investigation, it's almost to the point where the detectives can't even decide what's worse, the crime or the people involved, because what Chris said next, you could have made this up if you tried. Chris told detectives that after all this went down, after he realized there was a dead man in his back room, that they just said to him, and I'm quoting this man here, right? That's what he said. I can't wait to embalm this guy. This bitch crazy. Yep, she deserved the worst. That's crazy. Let me say that again. Not, oh my God, what did we do? Not, we need to call somebody. Not even, we need to get out of here. No, her first instinct was, I cannot wait to embalm him. And he said she told him she poured bleach in the man's mouth.
Excuse
Like,
me?
yes. He says that she said she poured bleach in this nigga mouth, right? Like she was trying to prep him. Prep him for what? A clay project? They ain't how they prep dead bodies. I hope not. They don't do that.
I don't think so. I don't know, but that don't sound right. I don't think so. That
Yeah.
don't sound normal.
Anyway, man, and instead of being horrified, the man standing there like, just acting like, yeah, she kind of crazy. Anyway,
Kinda?
yeah, right. No, then they been talking about embalming, man. And you sleep, you won't be sleeping in my house no more. That been the last day. I mean, the day that you asking a homeless man spend the night would have been the last day, right? But to each his own. Then Chris said that she threatened him. And look, I ain't defending him at all, right? But based on what this girl was doing, saying, and after like, yeah, I believe he probably was a little scared, right? I believe anybody would have been scared, right? Because the way he tells it, she wasn't just acting strange, she was acting unchained from reality strange. Like something was really going on, right? He claimed he just wanted the body gone. He didn't want to be in the same room with it, didn't want it in his home, didn't want anything attached to it. So what does he do? He helps her wrap the body up while it's still dark outside. He helps her move it. He drives the car. They're riding around with a whole dead body, trying to figure out where to dump them. Like this is some low budget off brand, YouTube crime channel reenactment, right? He says they're driving and Thadeshia tells him to pull over, just anywhere. So he pulls off.
And this dumbass is listening to her? Oh, okay.
Man, this remind me of the case with old girl, man.
That's very descriptive.
Yeah, the broad that's free right now. She killed the nigga and somehow she got.
Carmisha.
Is it Carmisha?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, but anyway, yeah. Remember the nigga? She just told the nigga to drive her to her baby daddy. But anyway, check out that.
House.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out the episode. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, so he pulls off. They get the body out of the trunk, and this is where it goes from horrific to straight up disturbing. He said, "Deja,
It's already disturbing. I'm very disturbed
right?" But I mean,
on so many levels.
it's about to get worse. You know what I'm saying? He's about to have a straight barbecue, right? He says that she lights the tarp on fire and starts dancing around the burning body and saying
She would have been left right there.
Yeah.
She would have been left right there.
I would have pushed her ass right on that fire. The bitch burned too. A prayer and a dance and a burning human being. He says she moved around the fire and like this ritual, like she's doing some type of ritual, you know what I'm saying? And look, I don't care what anybody practices spiritually. You know what I'm saying? That whatever you do with your spirituality, that's you. But that right there, that's evil. That is not a ritual. That is not a prayer. That is not aligned with anything that my black Jesus would want, right? And I know what my black Jesus wanted. He don't want that. That's a person who's unhinged, detached from humanity, enjoying something she should be horrified by. And that is why we, then reach out for her on the interview, because we were gonna reach out to her, but then, after hearing the details of the case, man, I said, shit, that bitch crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I ain't trying to be funny. We ain't look, Melanin Mystery, we don't need that type of energy, right? We don't want no spirits, no vibrations, no ancestors in our inbox or come around our microphone. We don't want none of that shit. We don't, right? You know what I'm saying? Ain't enough sage in the world that can get rid of that. So Chris says he got back in the car. He didn't want to watch. He didn't want to be part of whatever she thought she was doing. He was done. He was already in too deep, and he wasn't trying to go any deeper. Bitch, I mean, come on, nigga, how? Nigga, there ain't no deeper. I mean, don't. It
I
would
mean,
have
it's
been
one thing.
even as you would have started, know what I'm saying, doing the crip walk around the body with her. You was still in it. You was
Like I
already.
said, he was already in it, but he let it go too far. Like it was so many times he could have, he could have removed himself from the situation.
Man,
It was a lot going on. How did
the minute the bitch asked, can a homeless nigga moved in, he should have removed himself from the situation. Am I right?
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So he waves her over, and she's done. They get in the car, and he claims they went back to the apartment to clean up. Then he says he went to sleep. How, nigga? You just seen this little demonic, goddamn crispy critter over here just doing some of the most demonic shit in the world, and you was able to go back in the room and sleep? Oh, no, nigga. No, not at all. No. So then he says he went to sleep, and when he woke up, she was gone, out, vanished, right? Like a demon that finished its assignment. He said as soon as he realized she was gone, he left too. He said he hasn't seen Omar since he dropped him off at the hospital. Didn't know where anybody was, didn't know who was alive, who was dead, who was running. And honestly, hearing all this, the detective was sitting there like, yeah, sir, how did you survive this long, make a decision? This stupid. Like, nigga. Like, what is wrong with people? I really would like to know what was you thinking? You know what I'm saying? You had every opportunity to remove yourself from this situation, and your dumb ass, you sat there just let her make dumbass decision, then had audacity to be able to fall asleep when you got the damn killer in your house, you know what I'm saying, that was just doing some voodoo rituals, and you over there sleeping like a baby. Niggas. Because of the whole situation, the whole murder bleach to clean up, all that. It was too much, right? So I know the cops probably was thinking, yeah, nigga, this girl is not normal. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, she's not done, right, Brick? Because if you doing that, nigga, you're bound to do it again. That's all I'm saying.
So at this point, detectives are sitting there staring at Chris like he's the world's worst audiobook because none of this sounds real, logical, and yet it's all right there in his statement. But here's the thing, y'all. As wild as his story is and as ridiculous as he sounds, as scary as Thadeshia's behavior was, that's actually the part that makes investigators lock into this. Everything that Chris said lined up with the evidence: the bleach, blood, the shell casings, the piano bench, the disposal location, the timeline. It's messy, it's chaotic, it's unbelievable, but it matches. So now detectives are like, okay, so we got one idiot talking. Now where are the other two idiots? Because remember, the day's just gone poof, vamoose. She dipped like a spirit that accomplished his mission. And Omar, he's still in jail on his little assault charge for refusing to talk, sitting there acting like he's doing them a favor. So now detectives are like scrambling because the only person they've gotten any answers from is the one who claimed he slept through most of the murder like he was in a NyQuil commercial. But then this is when things take a sharp turn. While police are sorting through Chris's confession, trying to piece together what's real and what's drunk man delusion, they get a call, a tip, a sighting, a location. You might want to get down here right now type of situation. Because guess who just popped back up on their radar? Thadeshia. And not in a quiet way, not in a I'm turning myself in type of way, not in a I'm ready to tell my story type of way. No, this girl showed up exactly how we expect. Chaotic, unexpected, and in the middle of even more mess. And this is where the story goes from crazy to criminally insane.
When the investigator finally tracked down Thadeshia, right? It's not at a station. It's not through a warrant. She calls them, which already tells you this girl was living her own separate reality. They meet her in the parking lot. It's broad daylight, people around, cars driving around. She's standing there talking about a murder like she's giving customer service feedback. And she tells customers she wants to talk. They say she was calm, a little bit too calm, like none of that even fazed her. And right there in that parking lot, she tells detectives everything, every piece, every detail, like she was recounting a movie she watched, not something she helped orchestrate. She admits she lured Howard to the apartment on May 29th under 4 precincts. That's why I understand, no fellas, be careful with that. You can't even do blind dates no more. Know what I'm saying? And let me tell you, especially corny niggas. Like if you a corny dude or like an ugly dude, you know you not used to getting badass chicks, and then you got one that slide in, talk about she want to meet. Nigga, it's a possibility she's setting you up. Know what I'm saying? If it seemed too good to be true, most likely it is, or she a prostitute. Just throwing that out there for you, all right? Just trying to help you out. So anyway, she admits that she did, she lured him in, and, it was supposed to be, know what I'm saying? I guess they're supposed to link up, whatever. She tells them that the plan was accidental, was spontaneous, that this was supposed to be the first victim in a whole lineup, right? They were planning to lure me in, rob them, and repeat. This wasn't a mistake. This was a pattern waiting to happen. She met Howard online. Howard shows up being sweet, being flirty, completely unaware he was walking into a trap. He thought he was meeting a girl. He didn't realize he was meeting his killers. Then out of nowhere, here comes Omar, gun in hand, demanding money. Howard panics, speaks up. I mean, of course he does, right? I mean, nigga, you thought you about to get some cooch and now you about to get robbed? Yes. He thinks he's about to die, so he fights back. And Howard gets the upper hand. Omar drops the gun. Now, this is where things take a turn no sane person could justify. Omar, fully grown, fully armed, 5 minutes ago, screams at Thadeshia to grab the gun and shoot. Right? This nigga, he must have been getting his ass beat.
Thadeshia, he probably was. His ass tore the hell up. He was turning him every which way but loose.
That little nigga was a 5'3" stocky little nigga, man. And he fighting for his life. Oh man, yeah, man. He beat that nigga ass. So, and she does, no hesitation, no second thought, no fear. She grabs the gun and starts firing like she's in a video game. And she accidentally hits Omar, because when you're untrained and stupid and bullet goes places they weren't invited, you know what I'm saying? That's what happened. Then Omar gets back up, pissed off, bleeding, and he starts shooting too, right? By now, Howard had been shot more than once, by her and by Omar. Omar ends up wrestling the gun away from Thadeshia and delivers the final fatal shot that kills Howard. Leaves this man, this son, this brother lifeless on a bench like he was nothing. Rest in heaven, homie. Then they rob him, take his belongings, take the cash, take his little bit of dignity. Thadeshia claims there was $400 in cash, and she says she didn't get a dime of it. So
we don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I was like, you done robbed the nigga. You didn't even get no money from it. Girl, we highly doubt anyone believes you suddenly honest at this point. Detectives basically said, okay, that's cute. Hand behind your back, bitch. They cuff her right there in the parking lot. No sympathy, no negotiation, no more chances. She wasn't going back home. She wasn't going to sleep in her bed. She wasn't collecting $200. Nope, she was going straight to jail, and rightfully so. Because the moment she opened her mouth, she sealed her fate.
Now, you would think that after all that, the luring, the gunfire, after the bleach, after the body disposal, after the ritualistic Dollar Tree hoodoo dance and the parking lot confession, you would think we were done, right? We're not. Because once detectives get the Thadeshia's full story and put Chris's drunk adjacent fairy tale next to it, things start to get real interesting real fast. So when investigators start digging deeper, there's phone records, call logs, addresses. Suddenly they realize there weren't just 3 people. There was 5. A whole murder squad, a homicide group chat. So 2 new names enter the chat. Abby Constance Hannah and Jonathan Matthew Wilkes. And baby, these 2 weren't some randoms in the periphery. No, investigators believe they were part of the cover-up crew. So the DA indicts both of them for concealing a death, meaning they helped hide Howard's body, help clean up, help dispose evidence, help cover tracks, help keep this murder quiet, because it took some people to clean out that apartment that fast and get all that stuff done. That's what I believe.
I agree.
So to make it messier, Jonathan Wilkes was on house arrest and still got sent back to jail because he failed a drug test for weed for 60 days. So you are being monitored for a homicide cover-up, and then you can't stop blowing smoke in circles in your living room? I need y'all to make it make sense. Now, with all this new information, detectives aren't looking at it as a simple murder anymore. They're looking at an entire operation, and there's a full cast of characters. There's Omar Savior, who ultimately fired the fatal shot. Thadeshia Clark, who lured the victim, shot him first, and helped the whole scheme. Chris Hanna, cleanup and transport. Abby Hanna, concealment. And Jonathan Wills, concealment and evidence removal. A 5-piece dark meat combo with zero logic, zero remorse, and zero IQ points. Because this wasn't spontaneous, it was not accidental, and it was not a moment of rage. This was a group effort, a sloppy, evil, poorly planned group project where everybody deserved an F.
So look, after all the chaos, all that running, all that lying, all the bleach, all that ritualistic nonsense, everybody tried to walk in court like they were innocent. Every single one pleaded not guilty, like the evidence wasn't stacked up like Jenga blocks. But reality caught up quick because Deja, who was scheduled for trial on April 2018, folded like a Dollar Tree lawn chair. On April 20th, at her pretrial hearing, she takes a guilty plea. And not only that, she agrees to testify against Omar. Miss Hoodoo Dance, Miss Future Mortician, Miss I Just Want to Embalm Him suddenly became Miss, let me tell y'all what happened. Let me help the prosecution. And you know Chris Hanna, he also took a plea, got sentenced to 15 years with 8 years to serve on probation. But here's the thing. I can't find him in the Georgia DLC database anywhere, right? Which means in state time, he either got good behavior, got parole, or got released early because the prison was full. Either way, the boy is out, probably somewhere minding his business, pretending he never met these people. Now, Omar, he saw everybody flipping. He saw nobody was riding with him. He saw
They ain't know that nigga.
exactly saying no, saying it. Look, you already ain't had no family, my nigga, so you should have been used to being lonely and by yourself, right? Just throwing it out there, right? Right. So he said, yep, never mind. He pleads guilty too. So now Omar, Deja are both serving life sentences, which they need to be. You know what I'm saying? With your ugly ass. They do have a possibility of parole in 2046, but that's only if the parole board wakes up on one day and chooses chaos. Because, nigga, they ain't never getting out. Deja doing her time at Polsky State Prison.
Pulaski.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. Deja doing her time at Pulaski State Prison, Pulaski State Full.
It's a lot of our people that's at Pulaski.
I know, right? And they don't even know we doing episodes about their ass, man.
I mean, they might. Shoot.
Yeah, right. She probably in there with 3 bunk mates and a fan from 1999. Omar's locked up at Telfair State Prison, and let me tell you,
a lot of them there too.
Yeah, this man's still posting on social media. This nigga still posting on social media. Like, set your corny ass up. Sit your ass down. Be somebody's girlfriend in jail. Know what I'm saying? And just get a degree. Do something positive, my nigga. Damn. Know what I'm saying? Got a whole contraband phone. Updated his page in October.
Now, as in last month, October.
Right. Now, look, I'm not saying he thriving, but he damn sure ain't in the park no more. He went from homeless with a book bag to 3 houses in the cop. So he actually doing better than what he was doing before.
I mean, that's what I think.
And, yep. And you get all the man booty you want. So do with that as you may. So life is very strange sometimes. Now, the other 2 accomplices, Abby Hanna and Jonathan Wilkes, they pled not guilty too. Jonathan Wilkes ended up back in jail because he couldn't stop smoking weed on house arrest. So how you feel a drug test when all you got to do is stay in the house and drink water? Please explain. Both of them were charged with concealing the death, meaning they were part of the cleanup crew. Their case didn't blow up like Omar or Deja's, but the DNA made it clear. They were involved. They helped hide a murder. They just didn't pull the trigger. And that's the story, the full story. A tragedy that never should have happened. A young man lured and killed for nothing. A group of unstable, irresponsible, homeless, reckless adults and devil worshippers probably who turned his last night on earth into a nightmare. The cover up so sloppy, it practically solved itself. Now, before we close out, I need y'all to remember this. This entire situation was a textbook case of homosexuals in the wild. And we talked about this before. This is why the Homosexuals News Network exists, for educational purpose only, for community safety, for awareness. Because, baby, One wrong man will have your entire life in shambles. We want to know what y'all think. This shit was unbelievable from the start to finish. 5 people involved to set up a murder, a ritual, a cover up, a whole criminal ecosystem. So let us know what stood out to you, what shocked you the most, and how do you feel now that the full cast has been revealed? Leave us your thoughts, your theories, your opinions wherever you're listening. We read everything. We love knowing what y'all think. Man, that was crazy. You know what's crazier than that?
What?
The question we got on our favorite segment called
This episode is brought to you by Marietta. When it comes to your payments provider, you can't afford to compromise. Marquetta's modern payment solutions flex with your business without the trade-offs. Stable and agile, secure and innovative, scalable and configurable. If they say you can't have it all, don't believe them. Your business demands more. Choose a payments provider that delivers more. Choose Marquetta. Visit marquetta.com/Spotify to learn more.
This episode is brought to you by eBay. Buying parts for your car? You'll know that will it work feeling. But on eBay, buying parts is different. eBay's free returns means if it doesn't fit, or if it isn't what you expected, you just print a label, drop it off, and get your refund fast. No haggling, no stress, and at least 30 days to return any eligible item. Millions of parts, free returns. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Love, lies, and alibis.
all right, here we go. You
I'll read it because we already know you didn't read it.
Well, goddamn. Now how you? Well, you know I didn't. I ain't gonna lie.
Exactly.
You know me.
So
oh
this
so
week,
well.
I do. Okay, so this week we have a letter. Okay, so let me say something. I don't know why y'all be asking us for our relationship advice. I like that baffles me. But here
Hey,
we
we
are.
get the best advice though. I think they listen to what I gotta say, and they listen to you, man. You've been single for a minute. And you holding it down.
I love it here.
And I'll be All right, go ahead.
So it says, "Hey cousins, I need some advice. So after 7 months of running from this man, and trust me, I was running. He finally caught me, not in a toxic way, but in a I actually want you. I'm not letting you self-sabotage this type of way. So we made it official. He asked me to be his lady. He shows up. He follows through. He books trips. He talks about a future with me in it. Everything I always said I wanted, he's doing. But my trauma. My trauma is pacing like security at a nightclub waiting for a fight to break out. Every time he's consistent, my brain goes to what is he hiding? When is a switch up coming? How long before he hits and leaves like the rest? Meanwhile, he's over here telling me there's no running, you're locked in, I'm not going anywhere. He texts when he says he will. He tells me what he's doing without me asking. He's showing every sign of a grown man with real intentions. And yet my heart is still waiting on the other shoe to drop. Now, I don't know if it's just intuition or just trauma dressed up like discernment. I know a good man is trying, and I'm scared I'm going to ruin something good because my past taught me to expect disappointment. What you got to say?
And that's too long. I don't know what the hell I gotta say. What you got?
You want the Cliff Note version?
Thank you, please. God damn.
Sweet Jesus. She met this man. He's a good man, Savannah. A good man. Now she got her trauma is showing up and she don't know what to do. She thinks she's about to self-sabotage. Gosh.
Oh man, actually, I'm glad you mentioned self-sabotage. I actually had a good book that she can read, you know what I'm saying, I think it's called Self-Sabotage. I think that was called. Yeah, I would definitely recommend that. She go to therapy. All right, go to therapy and work on that, because even if it ain't him, it may be somebody else. That's my answer. What else you want me to say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I'm not used to that. Usually got something smart to say. What about you?
Sis, if you don't know what to do with him, send him over my way. Send him over here because that sounds like the type of man I'm looking for. Okay, he's planning trips. He's showing up when he's supposed to. Girl, I need you to go to therapy because you about to mess around and lose a good man.
Good
And
man, Savannah.
it is not many of them out there.
But that's
I
what
mean,
you know what? No, now I'm thinking about it. That's what the hell. That's what's wrong with a lot of women, though. Real talk. I'm being honest with you. It's
but the problem, it's okay. So this is the problem. Nobody is, and I got people yelled at me yesterday. Nobody is taking the time to heal. Like okay. So you recognize the fact that you have trauma. You recognize the fact that you have trauma, but
Yeah.
what are you doing to correct it? You're not doing anything. You're gonna take that trauma, and if he is a good man, you're gonna dump that trauma on that good man, which is gonna turn him into a bitter man because you just took all your baggage and dumped it on him. Now he's dealing with your trauma, and now he's traumatized from that relationship. Now he's gonna go out and be traumatized for the next one. I'm tired of the dating pool because everybody is walking around here all fucked up. Y'all ain't healed. Y'all don't want to do no time and put in some work to yourself. Like Portia from the Real Housewives, she done popped out with a girlfriend, and I was like, gosh, like
She
girl,
said she tired of the Wayne. She said she about to start
first of
eating
all, I
carpet.
mean, like every time you turn around, you was with Cordell, then you was with the next nigga, then you was with the other nigga, then you with the one, like you're baby, just be single for a minute. And I was like, just be single and heal. And somebody's like, how do you know she's not healed? Sometimes a man's gonna heal. Girl, be single and heal. Nobody can heal you but you. You cannot, what does he say? You cannot use external factors to fix something that's broken inside. Girl, go to therapy and do the work. Because that's what's wrong with y'all. That's why I don't want to be bothered because y'all all just traumatized. I'm over here. I ain't gonna say I'm 100% healed, but I'm like, I'm for the most part, I'm pretty good over here. I don't need nobody else's jacked up baggage bringing me down. Like I will just that, and that's why I'm so picky because I'm like, you have a man that's
Damn, Tiffany, shut your ass up, man. We got cousins that need to say some shit. Ain't nobody trying to hear all this shit. You ain't Dr. Phil. We know you got your shit together.
If you could see my face, I just turned around in my chair. I feel like you made me go sit in the corner. That was
damn, you were going off, man. You were like, and another thing. God, look, man, let's see what the cousin got to say. KK said, I feel like you should enjoy your time with him. Stop thinking so much into things. Not every guy is the same, but if you feel like you're not ready, even though it seems as if he's showing you and trying to prove himself to you, then let him go with somebody that is ready for him. And there's a bunch of women that would give they left titty for that dude, right? You know what I'm saying? And you should do the work to heal. If it's real, it will come back around. Don't hold them back. Just enjoy your time. Cap, no, it ain't. No, if it's real, it'll come back around. No, don't believe that.
No, the heck you won't.
No, it won't.
Child,
No,
not in this day
not
and age.
this time. Once yeah, nigga, that's gone. Okay,
not in
so
this day and age, baby. First of all, it's already like finding a needle in the haystack to find anybody, not even just a man, but a person, like a man, a woman. It's like trying to find a good person, like it's like a needle in the haystack.
Exactly, because these
I heard it's like I'm like it's men say it's bad too.
It is. Chicks be going to chicks and be getting cheated on by chicks. Like, damn, you got cheated on by a nigga and by a female, bitch. You is. Anyway, the best advice, and this is from Danita, she get the best edibles. Gee, don't she? Anyway, the best advice I can offer you is to live in the present moment. Allow yourself to bask in all of the feels. Your anxiety is your past trauma rearing its head. Don't let it rob you of enjoying the now. If it doesn't work out years down the line, so be it. But on the other side, you may have found your soulmate. There's a lesson or a blessing in every encounter. Enjoy today. Let tomorrow handle tomorrow. Willie, don't you say shit about my long post. I'm being profound here. And yes,
why she had to be profound, but I couldn't see.
You would
not talk no more for real.
Yes, no, Danita. Hey, look, I tilt my hat to you. It was nice and short and to the point. It was no long dialogue like Tiffany Lester Green was trying to do. You know what I'm saying?
You just know my whole name. Like, what do I want niggas know my whole name?
Makena Ezekiel. Though feelings of doubt and insecurity, you'll need to 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Release them. Tell the devil you can't win. No, what the fuck is that? A song? Is that a song? Did I mess up the lyrics?
Probably.
But yeah, don't do that, man. Y'all gotta say, like, in the words of Jamie Foxx, and then I'll start singing a song. Like, come on, y'all doing too much. Anyway, he told you he's not gonna let you ruin this. So he's willing to work through your trauma until y'all can get on the same page about each other. Don't panic, just take it one step at a time. I agree with that. Let me read one more, then you read it. We're gonna go to let's go to Yvette Jones, right? That sounds like you're in a self-sabotaging mode because you have not healed from your past trauma at all. Duh. And I totally get it. But it's going to be super important for you with this relationship or any other relationship that you do the work to heal. I agree. I would strongly encourage you to get into some therapy and start diving into what had brought you to self-sabotage mode, what triggers you, how you can overcome it, etc. Not just for this relationship, but for yourself. Earlier this year, I finally met the love of my life, and I had all the same worries that you had, but I started going to therapy because I didn't want to screw this up, and it has helped me tremendously on a personal level and helped me navigate not just my intimate relationship. God damn it. It say more. So she got a whole nother paragraph. Jeez.
Well, go ahead and read it.
Not just my intimate. It wasn't longer than yours. Not just my intimate relationship, but work relationships, family and friends, relationships, etc. So please do yourself a favor and roll your sleeves up and get into your healing journey. Ah, man, there we
Amen.
go. All right, read
Okay,
one more,
so
man.
Blackman DB Denise said therapy, self-work journals, take it a day at a time. Stop looking for the bad and enjoy the good. Have the conversation with him as well. I'm gonna do one more and that's gonna
Do
just be it.
Freena Black.
Don't tell me what I gotta do. I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Fina Black. All right. So Fina Black, if you don't get red, I threw your name out there. Go ahead.
Sharika.
Damn, she don't like you, Fina.
It seems that I just did it just because you told me to. It seems like she's so used to chaotic environments that peace is now abnormal or a red flag. I keep seeing comments saying go heal, seek therapy, etc. However, could it be possible she's experiencing PTSD? Even the most healed person is still triggered by little things. I had a friend that went through therapy, healed, then got married. He is a good man like the one described in the post, but the day he took out the trash, it triggered her to cry because she didn't know how to receive that kind gesture. What was going to be the cost of him being kind? Is he going to throw it back in my face? All he did was reassure her that there is help, that he's there to help her and cover her. Maybe this woman needs to be affirmed instead of being advised that she's not healed enough for the relationship. Truth is, we can't continuously avoid trying again or moving forward by hiding behind, I need to heal. You never know your broken leg is healed unless you try walking again, and even then the functionality will not be the same, but how you recover makes a difference. Now the only thing about that is when you're experiencing PTSD, you need to go to therapy because they help you with those triggers. Therapy helps you work through the triggers of PTSD.
I don't feel you, and I got PTSD from that long ass goddamn response.
Oh.
I'm just gonna throw it out there. All right.
Okay, let's go ahead and wrap this up because you on my nerves.
I see. So look, y'all, I know y'all like, man, I would love to respond, but not a real long one like some of these people, but just a little quick response to a question like that. I'm glad you want to know how. Well, I'm glad you asked. You can follow us and go to our Facebook page. It's Love Lies and Alibis. All you got to do is put it in the search engine. If it doesn't pop up under Love Lies and Alibis, you put in Melanin Mysteries, and you will see our Melanin Mystery Facebook page and our Love Lies and Alibis page, which is where the cousins get to kick it. And this is where we drop the questions every Tuesday, and we will read your comment, even if it's a long one, but try not to be long. That's it. Also, we have an Instagram page, Melanin Mystery, and we have a TikTok, Melanin Mystery. And we also have a BTCC page that you can follow on Facebook and IG. And in case you don't know what BTCC is, I give you the mic, Tiffany.
Okay, the BTCC is, if you wasn't paying attention in the beginning, it is us, Melanin Mysteries. Our brother Arthur over at Not My Brother's Keeper, and my big sis Renee over at Melanin Mayhem. And we are preparing for our live virtual show in just 2 weeks here. Like I said, you can pull up in your bonnet, you can pull up at your side piece house, on your job, in your car, wherever you're going to be at, pull up, put in some headphones, and we wish to see you there. It is going to be a time, like I say, if you kicked it with us in Cleveland or with Arthur in Houston or with Renee in Atlanta or when we were in Atlanta, it is going to be a time when all three of us are together.
Yep.
and say, y'all cousins been snatching y'all tickets. Like I said, we keep telling y'all there ain't that many slots left, due to the platform that we're using. So if you don't get your tickets, like I said, you can't even hate from outside the club because you can't even get in. So that's gonna be on you, and I ain't gonna tell you. So that's that. And what else we got? Like I said, ad space merch, all that good stuff is on the website, melaninmysteries.com. You know, if you want to send us a question for Love Lies and Alibis, a letter, or even a case suggestion, which y'all seem like y'all have no problem sending me case suggestions. I have so many of them. We appreciate it. We are working through them. I promise you, we're gonna get to them all. So yeah, like hit us up, reach out to us. Our DMs are always open. We appreciate our 5-star reviews. We appreciate our 5-star reviews. And like I said, but nobody has said anything bad. Oh, except for we had a comment about somebody didn't like us siding with Khadijah. And I had it was very respectful. That was like the only like non-positive thing we had, but he just didn't understand why we were siding with Khadijah. You know, I kind of explained the situation. They never said anything back, so I'm not sure. But we appreciate all of that. And if you didn't notice, I said it. We appreciate y'all for helping us hit our next goal.
Oh yeah, man. We monetize, which means it's gonna be a new me. All right. I'm gonna let y'all know. Got a little money in my pocket. I mean, it's a very little, but I'm gonna change, man. I'll let y'all know that nigga now. Know what I'm saying? Don't call me by my first name. And if you need to get in contact with me, you need to go to Tiffany first.
First of all, don't nobody contact you, no way.
I know, but
they do go through me. Don't nobody contact you.
That may change. You want to, just in case they didn't know. But go ahead.
Don't nobody talk to you, no way. They talk to me.
True. But yeah, we want to thank you guys because you guys have helped us reach our goal. By the time you see this, hear this, it'll be Monday, so they already know. But we're gonna do a bit final, like a reveal. We're gonna do a funny video because we linking up for Tiffany having a Grinchmas party. So
finally got it right.
Yes. All right. Well, that's it. Anything else?
Nope. Ain't got nothing else.
All right, go ahead, take us out.
All right, well, just make sure that love should not come with a life sentence. So make sure you treat freedom and not felonies.
And we out. Talk to you later. All right, cool.